everybody doing today? Was anybody on my panel yesterday? You're just gonna hear the same shit, guys. Not true at all. How's everybody feeling after last night? I saw some of you and your shenanigans. Oh yeah, I saw the shenanigans. Is anybody still drunk from last night? Yeah, the real drunk ones are like, I'm not even gonna tell you, bro. That's how bad I feel. Well, I guess we'll just jump into asking questions. Does anybody have a question?
I have
This is my voice. Where's the microphone? Raise your hand. Where are you? Oh, you're in the back. Hi,
I'm
ladies.
so sorry. Short legs. I didn't jump up.
It's okay. I got long enough legs for both of us.
Hi.
Hi.
By the way, I was at your piano yesterday. It was great.
Thank you.
So, just kind of two more questions. One, what is your favorite villain in comic books, TV, movies? And two, who would win with that villain versus Chuck?
Well, I think Deadpool has always been my favorite villain, except that he's like not even a villain anymore. He's like an anti-hero, which is kind of fun. And then beyond Deadpool, who would be my favorite villain? Was it in comic books only, or comic movies? Anything like that?
Comic books, movies, and TV.
Comic books, movies, and TV. Oh yeah, my character in Psycho movie. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Oh man, I can't wait for you guys to watch that movie. Who's excited for Psycho movie? You should be. It was so much fun to shoot. James Roday and Julie Hill and Steve Franks and Chris Hensey and the whole gang. Are you guys psychos? Is there a lot of psychos in the audience? So awesome. They're just lovely friggin' people, and I was so honored that they wanted me to be a part of their movie, and I had so much fun doing it, and I can't wait for you to see it, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And I don't know. Like Chuck on the Intersect was super cool, and I had so many fun abilities and powers. But I don't know that any of them would really match up against any of the legitimate villains from any comic book or movie or television show, for that matter, that have legitimate, Machiavellian twisting their. Although I suppose I did defeat a lot of villains through the use of juice boxes and things like that. So I could just stumble my way through it. So I don't know. It would be a tie. So diplomatic. Yes, hello, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman! I can't even speak today. I have no words. Thank you. Oh, you mean okay, physically. I got you.
So we know you've done great on TV and Chuck, and you've done Tangled with voice acting, but not everybody knows that you've also been an amazing voice for Back She Loves Me on Broadway.
Thank you very much.
I have to know, which one is your favorite to do? TV show, voice acting, or Broadway, and why?
I love them all. I love them all. I really do. I think each one of those disciplines gives you a different opportunity to flex a different kind of artistic muscle. And ever since I was a kid, I grew up doing theater. I love this. I love live interaction. I love the energy that you get to feel. It's a very symbiotic thing. When you're on a stage and you get to say a joke and everybody laughs, or doesn't. That can be very awkward. See, thank you for laughing. I appreciate that. That was almost very awkward. I'm actually going to sit on this table again. I know. I feel like so low down there. Am I doing this again? There we go. Frame it out. There we go. Or frame it in, whatever you want to do. I just have awkwardly long legs. I'm not even kidding. If you've ever seen me in a talk show or anything, you'll see me switch. I switch leg positions 7,000 times because, look, if I sit in this chair right here, I'm not even kidding. If I sit in this chair, my legs, they don't do 90-degree angles. They go up and then they go down. That's how long my legs are. I can't fit in, and then I have to do the man spread. People get upset with the man spread. Men cannot spread anymore. Bullshit. Let a man spread every once in a while. Like good butter. know what I mean. Do I know what I mean? What was the question? Right. Wow, I'm really glad you're all here with me today. Yeah, I don't know. The live aspect is so fulfilling, which is one of the reasons why I've actually, when I started acting, I did theater, right, as I was saying before, and I did a lot of musical theater, and I sang and acted, and then when I started getting into, was blessed enough to, start getting jobs in Hollywood, I was therefore specifically just doing acting, and the singing kind of took, a back seat, and I've been really grateful that I've gotten to do things like Tangled and these Broadway shows, and like a random duet with Catherine McPhee, and Popeye Cat. And but because of all of that, I felt a lot of love from you all about like, hey, when are you going to record an album and all that kind of stuff. And I genuinely have been tempted to get more into music, and not just because I love singing, but also because I really like doing live shows, and I feel like going and maybe doing some live gigs and singing concerts and stuff like that would be a lot of fun. Would you guys want to go and sing? I see a few people not clapping. You're not invited. So I love, and Wonder Woman's walking away. She's like, you can still hear me though, it's fine, I hear you. I see you, girl, I see you. So I do really appreciate the live aspect, but television and film allow you to build characters that also kind of live forever. I mean, First Date was a Broadway show I did that I don't know, now I feel like I gotta do it with everybody every time they like a strange animal. I am a strange animal. Anyway, where was I? Television and film. Yeah, you get to create something that actually lives on forever. First Date, no one other than the janky bootleg video that somebody made, no one will be able to see that again, which is very special in some ways, and also kind of a bummer. Things like Chuck on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever technology we will have in the future that you plug into your contact lenses and start doing this and Black Mirror out. Oh my God, it's terrifying where we're going. But that's now forever. So yeah, I kind of like all of them for different reasons. Wonder Woman, thank you. Great question. Next question.
So I used to be a Texan, and you're a Texan now.
Yeehaw.
So if you thought Whataburger was the best thing ever, because there is a wrong answer, and they will kick you out of Texas. How much time did you spend in LA around In-N-Out Burger today?
What state am I going to get kicked out of right now? Listen, I appreciate a good burger all the way around. I do appreciate a Whataburger. I appreciate a Shake Shack burger. Anybody East Coast Shake Shack? Five Guys? In-N-Out? It's amazing. People that don't know In-N-Out or not from the West Coast, like you guys hate In-N-Out. You hate that people like In-N-Out so much. It's the best. It's so fresh and so clean. So fresh and so clean. I don't know. I appreciate burgers of all kinds. Why do I have to pick one burger? That's not fair.
It's not fair?
It's not fair. I do appreciate that Whataburger, I like the service at Whataburger a lot. I like that, they come around with your food and your like little special ketchups and things like that. It's very nice. I also find that a lot of Texans call it Waterburger. There's no water in it at all. But yeah, I do like Whataburger a lot. Texas, don't kick me out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, you. Okay. That's okay.
My husband and I have attended Dragon Con for 10 years, and a few years ago we were fortunate to support tickets to their HQ outside of Comic Con. And what we really liked about it was the intimacy that we found with the actors. It's very similar to the panels here at Dragon Con. Another part that we loved about it was Operation Smiles and being able to contribute to that. So I was wondering, how did the did you get started, and do you think about maybe doing something like that with Operation Smile or the charity that you care about?
Yeah. Would you guys want that to happen? Okay, well, we're going to take a deep dive here. Something I think that I've come to, I don't know, maybe embrace about myself or even understand about myself for the first time in my life is that I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I've always been a very odd child. And I think that has to do with just the way my head and my heart work and how they work in tandem together. And typically, I think what happens is that I see something and I start analyzing it. Not necessarily judging it, I just start looking at it and going, like, I look at that picture and I go, well, how is that made? And what works about that? What doesn't work about that? How does this microphone, this chair, this table, this room, this lighting, whatever, like my brain doesn't stop. And that can be a blessing and a curse, but my heart also doesn't stop because I care. I care. So much. I care about people so much. I care about experiences so much. I care that we're all getting the very best that we can get. And so I started going to conventions really kind of at San Diego Comic-Con. That was the first time I'd ever been to a convention. I'd never been to conventions before. I had always grew up playing video games and reading comic books and very much in the world that other convention goers might be associated with or affiliated with, but I didn't cosplay and I didn't really collect, so I didn't feel the need to go to any conventions. And then I was at San Diego Comic-Con, and I was having a blast, by the way. I mean, the first year, Chuck hadn't even aired yet. There was 2,000 people in the audience. Thank God Adam Baldwin was in our cast. It's the only reason anybody showed up.
Like, oh, he's so shiny still.
And he is. The man does not age. But it was amazing. We played the whole pilot, and everybody applauded. It was a standing ovation. I mean, there's so much love. It was amazing. And every year after that, there was so much love. But my brain didn't stop, and my brain kept looking at things that I felt like could be a lot better, and that I felt like should be better. And and the only reason why I think things don't get better that could and should be better is because the people that are responsible for those things ultimately just don't care enough about the people that they're affecting by it not being better, if that makes sense. And that crushes me. And so I started to look at that whole situation, and my head and my heart started just going, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. It's a hamster in a wheel, apparently. And I started to try and figure out, well, how can I make it better? How can I make panels better? How can I make waiting for panels better? I remember when I found out just how many people were sleeping overnight on concrete, not even knowing for sure if they would get a seat in the panel room. And I thought, that's bullshit. I don't think that's fair. I didn't like that as powerful as the huge hall and thousands of fans in that hall could be. I didn't think it was fair that the people in the very back of the hall were essentially might as well be watching it on television. They were so far away. I thought that wasn't fair. I did not like, and you guys, I don't know if they're cataloged at this point or not, but maybe some of you guys were even at these panels, but we would have a moderator, and God bless them, lovely people that would moderate these panels, but we would answer the same questions over and over and over again, and I was looking out at a sea of thousands of fans, and I'm just going, just give them a microphone. Let them ask the questions. And to me, it doesn't matter if it's the same question over and over again, because at least it's their question. You guys are the reason why I'm even on this stage. You're the reason why any of us schmucks get up on these stages. It's not the moderators, it's not the reporters, at least it shouldn't be, not in my opinion. Because you are the consumers, you are the producers, you're the reasons why we have a job. And so we would, for 15 minutes, we would answer these questions about, so, what's different in this season in Chuck's character? And we would, politely answer the questions, and I would just be waiting and waiting and waiting until, maybe there'd be 5 minutes left over for the fans to ask questions. And then a couple years in a row, they'd be like, sorry, there's no more time. And if you look at the look on my face, it was just crestfallen. I was pissed. I was angry because I just didn't think it was fair. And also there weren't any good, decent dance parties during San Diego Comic Con, and that certainly wasn't fucking fair. And so yeah, I was wrong with that stuff. And then I was trying to figure out, well, what do I do? And by the way, a lot of Nerd HQ also came from, I had started Nerd Machine as an apparel company. I wanted to make a lifestyle brand for nerd culture because I didn't think that existed before. Thank you. And I was trying to figure out how to promote that, but also give a different convention experience that hopefully maybe fixed or solved or made better the things that I didn't think were as good as they could or should have been, and that's where Nerd HQ came from. And I've given everything I could to bring it. You know, this last year was tough. I can't get into all the details of exactly why Nerd HQ didn't come to pass, but I can tell you that, you know, sponsors, big corporations, they're really slow-moving machines, and they can be very fickle with their commitment to money. And I've been, how do I say this? I put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and my own money into Nerd HQ, and I can't do it anymore. And I tried to crowdfund it a couple years ago. Some of you may have been a part of that Indiegogo campaign, and I honestly hoped and I thought and I prayed that if I just went to the collective fan base that I was giving free 35 hours every year of panels for free, an entire event if you showed up for free, dance parties for free. I thought that if I just asked the world for $5 a pop, we could pay for it, and we couldn't. So then I stopped believing that I could do that anymore. And I'm going to try and move Nerd HQ over into a full non-profit moving forward, and I'm going to put a donate button on the website. And if you guys want it to happen in San Diego, then it's going to be in your hands. And if you want it to happen anywhere else in the world, it's going to be in your hands. And if the world doesn't come together and we don't get enough money for it, then there won't be any more Nerd HQ. And I hate to say that. I say that with a heavy heart, but I have overextended myself in so many ways, and the weight of the world, you know, sometimes I feel like is on my shoulders. But you know, it's like you either stand for stuff, you either fight for stuff, or you don't. And I don't know how to stop caring, but I also don't know how to keep living if I go broke. So that's kind of where that's sitting. So I hope that when we transfer Nerd HQ over to a full nonprofit, I hope that you guys, if you do want Nerd HQ, you'll know where to go. You'll know to, you know, spread the word, and it's something that you'll want. And if we can keep it going at San Diego, and it continues to thrive, and people continue to want it, and again, it's like, you know, how much would you pay for 30 hours of panels with Supernatural and Joss Whedon and Nathan Fillion? And again, they were all free for 6 years. They were free. I mean, I thought people would be like, hell, I'll pay $5 for 30 hours. But I think people just got so used to it. Well, no, I just want it for free. I just can't do it anymore. So if you guys want it, and it's all tax deductible now. So I hope some really rich people out there are like, I need to put a lot of money away into a nonprofit. So that's what that'll be. So anyway, sorry not to get too heavy or emotional, but I wish I had a fart joke ready right now. I don't. Next question.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Thank you so much for being here, by the way.
Happy to.
So one of my favorite scenes in season 1, episode 10, Chuck versus the Nemesis. Chuck's taken hostage by a ring agent, and Wymore and Jeff rushes up to him. And he tells Chuck everything's going crazy. So the agent says if you say anything more than one word, then I'm going to shoot him. So Chuck says the not too much word pineapple. And Jeff's face lights up, and then hilarity ensues.
Great synopsis. That's a fantastic synopsis.
Thank you. So with tonight, we've now moved into another franchise that not only loves pineapples, but it is a staple of the series. So my question is, do you like pineapples? And what's your favorite scene to film during Chuck?
scene to shoot? Gosh, man, that's hard. I don't know. You know, I love the scenes where they let me kind of be a little like, I don't know, like Buster Keaton. Like I loved it when they gave me enough leash to go and do some just fun physical comedy. I'm trying to think of some of those moments. I mean, like when Casey and I were tied together back to back, and like, you know, he's flipping me around and using my feet to kick the bad guys in the face, and then we fell off a balcony. Like, that was fun. I especially loved when I got to do stunts that were way too dangerous. Because, like, who the hell else gets to do that shit? Like, that's what I always thought about it. Like, the only people that get to do the things that I got to do on Chuck are actual spies and schmuck actors like me who play spies on television. So yeah, all that stuff, I loved it. I loved the comedy. I loved being able to have all those funny scenes with anyone and everyone. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I've slept since then a lot. But I cherish it. I kind of look at it all as a big whole. It's hard for me to partition little bits of it, but I'm trying to think if there's another. I'm trying to think if there's like another scene that was like super fun. Shooting Shaw was a lot of fun. That prick. I love you, Brandon. I love you. Probably that. Yeah, something like that. Cute. Thank you. Next question.
Well, do you like pineapple?
I did. Oh no, I said I did like pineapple.
Okay.
Oh, I started that. I made that very clear. I like me some pineapple.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so, little story. I'm an aspiring animator, and Tangled was really an inspiration to me. You as a character and you as a person have inspired me over these years. So the first time my teacher gave me some colored pencils, when I was 13, I did a drawing, and you were Flynn Reiner was the first person I drew.
It's okay. You can call it me.
But I was wondering if I could show it to you.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Do you want to bring it up here right now? Applaud the lady. Applaud the lady as you put it on the stage. It's bravery. Can I show it to the other? Look at that. That's fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, you're so good. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I was talking about on my panel yesterday. This is incredible. Here, hold that, and give me this one. And take those things off there. Now stand on one leg. Look at this. Look at that Sebastian stand right there. Look at that. That's amazing. What's your name? Nicole, you are incredibly talented, and I commend you. And I encourage you to continue doing this. You're very, very talented. Keep doing that. You're welcome. You're welcome. I was talking about this in the panel yesterday, that fan art, and, you know, fan generated, like the things that you guys get inspired by. You know, it's amazing the ripple effect that can come from that, and I really I mean that. I'm not just saying that. That's very, very, very good work, and you were very talented. And I'm honored that I could have been a part of the inspiration in that journey for you. So when you make a lot of money, remember me. Okay? Yes?
So honestly, are you a little bit bitter that the drawing of Sebastian Stan was that much better?
A little bit, yeah. Not gonna lie. But look, she did Flynn when she was 13. She did Sebastian yesterday. So,
So quickly, this is from Kim, who you might remember. Kim says, "This lifted my spirits. I needed blessings from God today, so thank you, Zachary Levi. You made my day twice." So I know that would mean something to you, so thank you again. And you obviously made a dream come true for my friends. My dream come true would be to meet Yvonne. So,
yeah, get in line, bro. Get in line.
like a nice little story or anecdote that I can use to sort of break the ice if and when I should say
Well, she's married, so...
That's no what that is.
I beg your pardon?
Any anecdote that you might have from working with her?
I respect the sanctity of marriage, my friend. But if you really need an icebreaker, just talk about how gassy she is. That's fantastic. She's gassy. She's a gassy girl. Thank you, sir. And please tell Kim and Tim. Oh, no, what was her husband's name? Luke. Please give them my love again. Yeah, thank you, sister. Yes, next question.
Hi. Thank you for coming here and let us actually get to know you rather than just talk about random topics.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
My question is, if you could design the intersect for your personal life, what topic would you download or what skills would you download?
Oh man, I can get real deep. What would I have the intersect do? I mean, clearly I would want to do all the really awesome, cool shit that the intersect let Chuck do. I don't know. Sometimes it's like basic skills, like just taking care of myself. Sometimes, like those mornings where you're just down in the dumps, and you just can't get out of bed, or you're feeling that depression, or like I struggle with stuff just like everybody else struggles with self-worth and self-love, and like if there was an intersect for all that stuff, we'd all be a hell of a lot happier, I think. So probably that. We're deep diving here, Dalton. We're deep diving. And come to a clip. Some gymnastics. Thank you for your question. Thank you. And back.
Hello, I'm Tim. My favorite James Bond, Timothy Dalton, was on Chuck. And also
He was?
Yes, he was. I hope you remember, because I wanted to hear a story about your time with him.
Timothy was just the consummate professional. He was unbelievable. He was so kind. He cared so much. Like, one of the things that in network television, you often, it's a grind of a schedule. It's really not very humane in many respects. And, and also there's a lot of, for a long time, there was this idea that, if you were a television actor, you weren't as good of an actor, and even now still, big movie stars tend to be more valuable, even to fans. If it's a big movie star that's coming, then oh my God, it's a big movie star. If it's a TV star, it's like, oh yeah, cool. Depending on the person, of course, right? But but the way that Timothy treated the role, the show, was as if there was no looking down on it. There was no judgment of it. He could have been taking on a role on the West End or doing a big film or whatever. He took it seriously. Again, very professional, very kind, very open to talk about his past and his growing up and coming up in the business. And I don't. Sometimes I have to choose the nice things to say about certain people, and I don't have to do that with Timothy. I do not have one bad thing that I can say about Timothy Dalton. I just think he's fantastic, and I hope that we get to work together another day. And again, I think that his embodiment of Volkov was great. The way they wrote him too was great. He was, the way he kind of started as this guy, and then he says really, Volkov and Machiavelli, and then it was like weird and emotional and manic, having those moments like when we're playing charades, it's like, who is this guy, And he was great. He owned it all, and I just think he was lovely. So yeah, that's Timothy Dalton for you. Next question.
Hi, you're awesome. This is intimidating, but my question is that, so Flint's dream was to be on an island that he owned, and rested and alone, and then his new dream was
surrounded by
enormous piles of money.
Thank you very much.
And then his new dream was Rapunzel. So what's your dream?
what the fuck is happening? I'm on an edge. I'm right on an edge, guys. No joke. My dream. I mean, aside from like finding love, like real love in my life, someone that I trust with every ounce of my being, that I can fall into crumbling when I've got nothing left, and who can do the same with me and is my partner in crime, and or not crime, but I don't know, I might get into some crime later. Like that kind of a soulmate, like that's probably number one, but my dream is to leave the world better than when I came into it. To use the platform that I think God has given me for good, to enrich the lives of anybody that I come across, And I you see, I know, I start crying, you start crying, we all start crying, we're fucked. Anybody who's come to a Nerd HQ panel, by the way, that I've done, knows how much of a blubbering baby I am. Anybody who hasn't is like, what is this guy doing? This is great. I should be more like John Barrowman and just start taking clothes off or something, I don't know. Easy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think the world is. There's so much pain. There's so much pain in the world, and I wish I could take it. I wish I could take it away from the people that are feeling it. I wish I could help people that feel like they are helpless, that are hopeless. I wish I could change their situation. I wish I could go and convince every major politician in the world to stop being such a fucking asshole. I wish I could go to every CEO and president of every corporation and say, just stop hoarding all of the money and give some of it back to the people that need that money. And by the way, and I'm not even talking about I'm not making some big sweeping socialism or anything like that. People have heard me say, I believe in conscientious capitalism. I believe that you can go and have a job and make a ton of money. Go do it. Do well in the world and take care of yourself and your friends and your family and have a bunch of money and go have great, vacations and homes or whatever. But at some point, how much do you fucking need? How much do you need? How much do you have before it starts rotting you inside? There's a reason why it's called the spoils of war. Because once you go in and you take everything from another country, it starts to spoil you. How much food can you hold for yourself before you can only eat so much and the rest of it goes and rots? We don't need everything in the world. We just need enough for us and the people that we love and we care about. And then we can start looking at everybody else and going, here. That's my dream. Don't. That was a joke. See, it's how I diffuse my own tears.
We also have somebody with you right here.
Oh, hi, yes, please help me not become a complete waste of time.
I have two questions. First, what was your favorite part of playing Flynn Rider?
Everything. I dreamt about being a Disney character in a Disney musical since I was even younger than you, and then I got to do it, and so that was the best part of being Flynn Rider for sure.
second one, what's your favorite kind of dog?
It's an excellent question. I have no idea. I don't know enough dog breeds or types to know. I recently met this person who had what I thought were a couple like Labradoodles or Golden Doodles, which I think are great dogs. And I was like, hey, and they were just awesome. And I was like, hey, are those Golden Doodles? And he said, no, they're Wheaten Terriers. And I was like, what? So I'm kind of interested in the Wheaten Terrier at this point. But to be perfectly honest, and I keep going around on this, you know, I kind of like mutts. I just like mutts. I think that obviously, you know, in all the pain in the world, going back to this guy. But you know, there's so many dogs and cats and pets that are in pounds that are looking for love, and yet we have this incredible dog breeding industry business that fortunately is starting to get a little more regulated with all of the puppy mills and all that stuff, which is really heartbreaking. But there's so many dogs that just need, they need a home and they need love. And the truth is, the mutts are like stronger and live longer and have less problems in them anyway. We start breeding these dogs to be like, purebred things, and they're like, like they can't even, their brains don't work and their hips fall out, and it's like, geez Louise, like that's not fair. No offense to any purebred dogs out there. Making enemies. But yeah, I don't know. I love like just cool mutts. There's something about them that are scrappy and like they're a little bit of everything and they're cool. Cool. Yeah. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, Brett Dalton has said that he would like to play Flynn Rider in a live-action version of Tangled. Who has the better smolder, you or Brett Dalton?
I'm offended you even asked that question. Sometimes it amazes me how simple a thing can make people laugh. It's unbelievable. I don't know. Brett Dalton is a very attractive man with a very attractive smolder, but I still win. Cheers. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, this is like really exciting.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
I'm surrounded by musical theater like all of my life, so I was wondering, what was your favorite line to deliver in She Loves Me?
What was my favorite line? Oh man, if I can, I literally I used to remember, like when I was a kid, and I would do a play or a musical, I would remember not just all of my lines, I would remember everyone's lines, like every single line, every entrance, every exit, every dialogue, every song, everything. Now, not so much. I barely remember anything anymore. Maybe. There's a fly in the wine. That was always a fun one to say. I'm not even sure that was the line. Was that the line? Faith, grace, grace. Thank you, Grace. That was the line. That's my favorite line right there. Precious of Grace, do it. Thank you, Grace. Assist from Grace. Yes.
So I have a Chuck question. I was a latecomer, and when I got to the series finale, I was a little sad. So I'm just wondering what you think happened after that.
What does everybody else think? I think. What I think is that it worked out. It had to have. The show was far too hopeful to end unhopeful. So while it might not have felt that way, with the head and the heart, singing the rivers and roads, and you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? I think think it worked out. And if I ever get the chance to ever make a Chuck movie one day, then, you know, maybe we'll resolve that one day. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you. Yes, next question.
Hi, I'm so excited that you're here at Dragon Con. I hope you come back again next year.
Well, as long as I keep getting invited and you guys keep wanting me to come back.
My question is, I'm a huge fan of Eat to Drink, and I was wondering, are we going to get any more episodes? It kind of helps me through my week. I like to eat, I like to drink. What's up?
No, that got canceled, and canceled a while ago, actually. So no, they're not going to bring it back. I don't know. I mean, we had a good time doing it, and from what we heard, the ratings were good, and sci-fi liked it. It was just there was a lot of other kind of extraneous, like other kind of issues, and you know, I wish I could explain Hollywood to all of you guys. I can barely explain it to myself. It is a very interesting, weird place to try and get anything done. Sometimes specifically anything good done. And there's just a lot of cooks in the kitchen and a lot of people that all have opinions about what should be or shouldn't be. And you know, that's one of the things I'm trying to work on, is trying to figure out a new kind of model, a new thing where, you know, we can take them. We can have less cooks in the kitchen, and we just have, like, you know, a couple of really good cooks, like, you know, Emerald or somebody. We just go a lot of bang, we just do a lot of bang, bang. That's what he says, right? Bam. What's that? Alton Brown. Yes, you'll have Alton Brown involved. Some Gordon Ramsay, just for some spice. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sorry. No more. I am trying to work on a new trivia show that may or may not also involve some kind of libation, but it will be Geeks Who Drink. Yeah. Sorry, but thank you. Next question.
Hi. So you were really, really good as the hero, and then when you were on Heroes, you were the villain. So I guess my question is, if you could only play a hero or a villain literally for the rest of your career, what would you prefer?
Oh, I had to pick one? Oh, definitely a hero. Yeah. I mean, I just, yeah. Every video game I've ever played, like anybody play Fable or anything like that, right? Any of the games that we can play where you have, like, you know, character building, you can pick a path. I am hard. I literally was like, I was halfway through Fable 2 maybe, and I accidentally did something that gave me some, like, evil cred, and I restarted the game. I was like, fuck that shit. I was going for the perfection. Maybe that's my problem. I need to loosen up a little bit. I like went into somebody's house. I went into somebody's house and I'm like, nobody lived in this house. Nobody lived there. And there was like a chest to open. And it says, want to open the chest? And I was like, yeah, I want to open the chest. And I opened the chest, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody runs in and goes, no steaming from me. I was like, no, it's really good. I wasn't doing it. They give me like a, you know, like the damn evil. I was like, oh, son of a restart. Hate it. I do enjoy playing villains. I do think that's fun just to kind of balance it out. But yeah, I don't know, because I'm not darkness in the world. So. Yes.
Hi, I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of Supergirl's question, wherever she wandered off to, but I just want to know a little bit more about your experience with being a part of She Loves Me. That was such a great production. Like, what was it like for you?
It was amazing. I mean, prior to She Loves Me, again, I had done a bunch of community theater and school theater growing up. I mean, I did everything that I could get my hands on. I was still very much a Luddite. I didn't really know anything other than the things that I had done. And then I did First Date, and that was a great experience, and I learned a lot about 8 shows a week, which is no joke. Let me tell you something about Broadway. If you ever want to get into Broadway, 8 shows a week is no joke, and no matter how many times anybody tells you, and I had many people tell me before I did Broadway, friends of mine who had done Broadway, and they're like, hey, listen, Zach, 8 shows a week is no joke. And I was like, yeah, I got it. You know. And then somebody else, no, Zach, 8 shows a week is no joke. I was like, I got it. And then I started doing 8 shows a week. And then other people started, you know, that were talking to me about doing Broadway, and I started becoming the other person. I was like, listen, 8 shows a week is no joke. You know, it's gnarly. I mean, imagine, you know, particularly with comedy, like imagine, you know, telling the same joke for a week. That's okay. Telling the same joke for a month, that starts getting tough. Telling the same joke for 6 months, you don't even know what's funny about it anymore. You genuinely, like you know, first date and She Loves Me, I start getting so much in my own mind because you got to try and keep it fresh. You got to keep it fresh for you, so it's fresh for the audience. Because, and I've been to, you know, plenty of shows where I'm watching up on stage and I see them a little checked out sometimes. You see them just kind of like, you know, they got the plasticine eyes and the smile and they're kind of going through the motions and they're doing the thing. You're like, I can't believe you said that. And they're doing this thing and it's all, you're like, they're not even there. They're not even there. And unfortunately, a lot of people who don't necessarily pick up on that, whether it's, you know, plenty of people who come through from other countries or tourists or whatever it is, it's to them. And by the way, also, if you're sitting far enough back, you don't necessarily see if people are checked in or checked out. And, you know, I believe as an actor, that's my job. My job is they pay, and by the way, Broadway's it's not inexpensive either, it's an expensive ticket. So I feel the responsibility to show up every single night for matinee, which suck, by the way, matinee. I hate matinees. They're just, it's like the middle of the day. And by the way, they're important because a lot of kids might come to a matinee or the elderly come to matinees, and that's important because they can't get out at night. They can, but they get tired. And, you know, but it's hard. It's just hard. So I learned a lot at first date, and then, you know, but then getting into She Loves Me, I mean, I wasn't even the guy. They wanted Josh Radnor, I believe, originally was going to play that role as George Novak. And I think would have done a fantastic job, but the schedules conflicted and he couldn't do it anymore, and then all of a sudden I had an offer to do it, and I didn't really know. I knew Jane Krakowski a little bit, and I knew Laura Benanzi a teeny little bit, because she had auditioned for a pilot I did, but I didn't know Scott Ellis, I didn't know Paul Gimignani. And by the way, Paul Gimignani is probably one of the most famous musical directors that's ever been on Broadway. I had no idea who he was, because I'm an idiot. I, you know, just learned more. I just learned more. You got to stay open and sponge that stuff up. And it was an incredible experience. And then to be nominated for a Tony in my second Broadway show ever was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's so insane. Thank you. It was also kind of, you know, it was also one of those things where, I mean, it was an amazing thing to be nominated, as everyone says. Oh, it's just, you know, it's just nice to be nominated. That's what everybody says. And it is, it's nice. I genuinely knew I had no shot of winning because everyone was nominated in the same year as Hamilton. So what, you know, it's like just hand them the trophy. Just why, I don't even know why there's anybody else in the category. But it was super cool. Like the whole thing was just, you know, amazing. And I get to look at those moments. You know, I try to reflect on those moments and just am so grateful to God that my bucket list of all, you know, the things that I've gotten to do, while I have not done them to the full level or extent that I hope that I get to do them to one day, I have gotten to do a lot of those things. So, yeah, it was a really awesome experience. Next question.
Here we go.
Sure. So during the run of Shock, I worked for Geek Squad. And I always wondered if you guys ever got into costume and invaded the Best Buy in mass.
Wouldn't you like to know? No, I never did that. But I will say that there have been many times that I've gone into Best Buys, and it's actually kind of strange. Like, you know, it's one thing to get recognized by people. It's another thing to get recognized by people that genuinely feel like connected to you. And they also kind of keep it on the DL, which I appreciate. Like, and I've walked into Best Buy and I'm, you know, looking for something, and, you know, somebody walks up and like, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, cool. What are you looking for? What do you need? HDMI cable? Yeah. And it's like, it becomes like this cloak and dagger thing. I'm like, I just need an HDMI. Is that okay? Everyone's always very disappointed when they realize my level of understanding of tech is nowhere near what Chuck's was. people at the beginning of the show. Literally, I had fans and people come up to me and like, do you know anything? I'm like, no, it's a television show. I have no idea what you're talking about. I still don't know what you're talking about. Don't ask me for help. In that regard. Yeah, so that, I think, might answer that question. Yes, next.
Hello, my name is Chrissy.
Hi, Chrissy.
I would love to sing with you sometime. Scott Bakula was great on Chuck. One of my favorite roles of his. But my favorite role of his of all time is Cats Don't Dance, the animated film where he played the main cat character. It's great and everyone should watch it.
I'm assuming that he doesn't dance.
The cat does.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. No.
I'm totally confused now.
It's a great movie. And now that I know that you haven't seen it, that changes my question a bit. A, you should watch it, and B, if they made a remake of it, as they do, would you want to be in it? As it is a musical film.
I don't know where to go with this. I've never seen it. Yes, I would. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Next question.
Here we go. Hello again. Thank you for being here and
Don't make me cry again. Don't do that.
thank you for being real. And we don't have no Kleenex to keep crying.
Hold on, Trey.
John Larroquette was on Chuck, obviously.
He was?
I know, right? But do you have a cool story about him that won't make us cry?
There's this one time John was saving a baby from a fire. It was the most heroic thing I've ever seen. No, I mean, honestly, John, very, very similar to Timothy. I mean, John, we were so blessed that we got so many just incredible guest stars. Like, just so many incredible guest stars that had an incredible body of work and so much expertise built in that and experience. And I was really grateful that as, a youngish man, I had those people come into my life at various times and got to pick their brain about what their careers had been like. And John had also done Broadway, and we talked about Broadway and stuff. I'm trying to think if there's like a specific moment. I mean, like genuinely, like I feel so bad. Like when I watch Jared and Jensen answer questions about Supernatural, those guys know their show as well as all their fans know the show. Like they can go to like pinpoint moments. Yeah, so basically when we were in the car and we did it, I'm like, holy crap, like they remember everything. And I'm sitting there going, Chuck fun. John never had fun. I don't know. Yeah, he was super funny, and I learned from him. I learned from all of them. Scott Bakula. Scott was not that you asked about Scott, or you mentioned Scott, but or cats who don't dance. Or anyway, the undancing cans. Chuck was a really hard show to make, and there were a lot of moments where I was just ground into the ground from the schedule, and Scott felt it on me when he started working on the show. He could feel it on me, and he was so kind and so loving, like a father. Like he saw in my eyes what he felt when he was doing Quantum Leap, when he was about my age, and how much that took from him, just to, because you got to give. Again, it's like on Broadway. Like you either. And here's the thing, plenty of people have figured out, I don't know how they do it, I don't know, they figured out some balance of like caring but not caring so much that it kills them, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't know, I feel like my responsibility, if I'm playing a role, as Chuck, my responsibility was to my cast and my crew and to the audience. I had to make sure that no matter what I was doing, it was because I tried to make it as excellent as it could be. And I'm talking about not just the show, every promo that you saw, every time I'd show up for promos, like, you know, there might be some scripts that just weren't that funny. And I'd be like, okay, well, how do we fix this? Let's rewrite this, let's reshoot this, let's do whatever we can, because I owed it to you guys. I owed it to you. I owed it to my cast and my crew. I owed it to the network and the studio. Whatever the hell I thought I owed anybody. But you feel that stuff. And Scott understood that. And not that your question was about Scott, but it did remind me that, you know, I want to really applaud him or let you guys know just what a sweet man Scott Bakula was, and that a breath of fresh air and really helped me a lot. So when you see Scott Bakula, yes, bring up Dancing with Cats. That's exactly where I was going. That's reading my mind. Next question. Oh, little Robin.
And little Robin, and Robin will be our last question.
Okay.
Here we go.
If you were ever to be a Pokemon, which one would it be?
If you were ever going to be a Pokemon, which one would you be? And he has two to choose from.
Okay.
If you would ever be a Pokemon, which one would you be? Tyrsa or Eevee?
Tyrsa or Eevee? Teddy Ursa.
Clearly Teddy Ursa was what he was saying.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. Or Eevee. What about you?
No-brainer.
How about you? Which one would you be?
If I were to do it, I wouldn't know because they're both cute.
That's a great answer. I would say that. Ladies and gentlemen,